What is up, guys? We're back on the business channel today for episode 6, the final episode in the entire free course, free series, teaching you guys exactly how to wholesale real estate and how you can close your first wholesale deal in under 90 days, which gets you that introduction into real estate that can allow you to make infinite money with real estate. Because once you get into this business model, you start making, 10, 20, 30, 40, up to $100,000 a month. You build up all this capital. You can start getting into different ventures of real estate like fix and flips, development, commercial, whatever ventures you want to take on, or you can start trying to scale a wholesale business from obviously 100K a month, 200K a month, 300K a month, however big you want to take it, however much of a team you want to build, you can take wholesaling to that because there's guys actively doing that. Like I said, guys, this is episode 6. Episode 1, we did an overview on wholesaling. Episode 2, we did the acquisitions call. Episode 3, we did underwriting and offering. Episode 4, we did how to find buyers. In episode 5, the last episode, I went entirely over marketing, showing you guys how to market wholesale deals and how to actually get into wholesaling the right way. Because if anybody's telling you to get into wholesaling in a way other than marketing, they're lying to you, okay? If they're telling you that the best way to get into wholesaling is cold calling, lying. If they're telling you the best way to get into wholesaling is finding a buyer first, lying, okay? If you guys want to get into wholesaling, you want to make the most of the business, make the most money, and scale the fastest, it has to be the marketing route. And that is the route that I teach, and that is the route that I recommend you guys take. And now, guys, the purpose of episode 6 is to put all the information of 1 to 5 together and give you guys an exact game plan on how to start, an exact game plan on how to close your first deal, and an exact game plan on how to start scaling up the business, making money, get your foot in the door with real estate, and teach you guys how you can actually turn this into something that will change your life, which is what I did myself in under 2 years after being in college and now living my dream life. Now, guys, to start wholesaling and actually get on track to closing your first deal, you need to set your expectations right and realistic, okay? A lot of people are gonna tell you, oh yeah, you can get into wholesaling, you can close your first deal this fast by doing this, this, and that. A lot of them are lying to you, okay? All these guys out here telling you you can get into wholesaling for free and do this and do that, and all you need is your phone, your laptop, and you don't need any money. A lot of them are just trying to sell you on some course where you're gonna get in their course, they're gonna give you a bunch of videos, a bunch of modules, they're never gonna talk to you, and they're simply gonna tell you to cold call, and that's how you're gonna close your first deal. Guys, 99% of the time that is not the case. I don't know anybody myself that has closed their first deal by just simply cold calling. Guys, you're gonna be sitting there calling for 8, 9 hours a day trying to get your first deal, because I used to do that. When I was trying to get my first deal, I was literally cold calling all day, every day, for forever, never got a deal from it. I got my first deal from actually running marketing, having a proven system, and actually knowing what I was doing, and that is what you guys are going to do after following everything I've said. That's how you're gonna close your first deal. So guys, let's set some realistic expectations and timelines for you guys to follow to actually close your first deal, starting from zero, no knowledge, not knowing anything, and let's actually set those timelines. Guys, what I have seen is as beginners with no experience, no one guiding them and helping them, they usually close their first deal on average from like 7 to 8 months. And the reason I say that is because when you have no guidance, there's so much trial and error involved, okay? If you're getting into the business, you're not gonna know how to talk to sellers, you're not gonna have anyone guiding you on how to do it, you're not gonna know how to go through a transaction, you're probably gonna have some contracts fall out, you're not gonna know how to run your marketing correctly, you're not gonna know what areas to target, you're not gonna know how to underwrite, you're gonna get properties locked up too high. All these different things come into play, okay? The thing about having guidance, and the thing with guidance is it's got a really bad look because there's so many people scamming and selling bullshit courses, and that's the biggest issue with the guidance right now in this area, okay? So a lot of people are scared to seek out for guidance because so many people have had the worst experience with guidance. Like my business partner got scammed on a mentorship, and that's what made him start the program with me, and that's why we now help guys, but we do it as a done-for-you option. It's not as much of a course modules. We don't do any of that. Our whole setup doesn't have any course modules, none of that. But let me stop talking about myself. I'm just trying to use this to set a timeline, okay? So basically with the guys that we work with, we guarantee a deal in 90 days. And the way we can do that is because they have all of our guidance, they have all of our systems, they have all of our strategies, and we make sure they don't get deals too high because we underwrite their deals for them, blah, blah, blah. But if you guys are a beginner, you need to understand that the timeline is gonna be longer, okay? It's gonna be 7 to 9, it's gonna be somewhere between 6 to 9 months if you're doing it on your own. And that's just because trial and error comes into play, budget comes into play, locking deals up too high, like all that different stuff comes into play. So on average, that's how long I would say it takes if you're trying to do this with no guidance, and you're probably gonna lose a lot more money with marketing because you're gonna have to run marketing for a lot longer to see results because you're gonna have all the trial and error come into play. With us, we know how marketing works, we know how stuff works. So when people are working with us, we can guarantee them a deal usually within 3 months of running marketing because they're doing everything right, and we give them all the processes, all the systems, and we know exactly what to do to close that deal. That's the main major difference in getting into this business, is just the trial and error, okay? If you're not paying for guidance, you're most likely gonna pay for more money spending in marketing, okay? If you don't have guidance to help you and guide you to closing your first deal, you're gonna need to run marketing most likely for longer than how long you're gonna have to run marketing with having guidance, okay? Because like I said, there's gonna be a lot of trial and error, there's gonna be deals that fall out, you're gonna lock stuff up too high, all those different things are gonna come into play. So you might have have to run marketing for 6-7 months, which is going to cost around the same amount of money for paying for guidance and running marketing for 3 months. But you also could not pay for any guidance. You could somehow crush it, kill it, and you can only run marketing for a few months and close the deal without any guidance. Okay, it comes RNG sometimes, but it just depends what way you want to make an investment. But guys, I don't recommend getting into this business for free. Okay, either pay for guidance and have guidance, or pay for marketing and run marketing, or guidance and marketing, and that's how you're going to get a deal the fastest, and that's how you're going to scale the fastest. The best way to start off, hands down, is not spending any money on marketing yet, nothing like that. You want to start off by simply getting acquisition practice, okay? And what that is talking to sellers on the phone, learning how to get a seller through a transaction, practicing having people decline your offers, practicing going through the script with people, and making it actually flow when you're on the phone with the seller, and making yourself actually sound like a professional and like you know what you're talking about with real estate. So the first thing you should be doing is studying over the business and then making calls and failing, okay? That's the best thing you guys can do. Once you've made so many calls to leads that don't matter, leads that you aren't spending money on, you're not gonna be scared to give offers. And when you're giving offers on leads that you're spending money on, you're not gonna be scared of rejection because you've already faced rejection time and time and time again. With all that being said, the best thing you can do starting off is simply just call sellers on like Zillow or people that are interested in selling their property. Call them, run through the script, and then give them a lowball offer at the end. Get yourself used to hearing that rejection so you're not scared to give offers when you actually need to give good offers, and then just run yourself through the script and make sure you're confident talking to sellers and make sure you know what you're talking about, okay? That's the best thing you guys can do. Start making calls for free. Just call, learn the business, learn how to talk to a seller, do all of that stuff, practice underwriting. That's the best thing you can do right off the bat to get into this business, because then when you're investing money in marketing, you're not wasting money and wasting your leads. Then when you guys have leads coming in and you're spending money on leads, you're not gonna know how to talk to leads, you're not gonna know how to get them through a transaction, you're not gonna know how to give them offers, you're not gonna know how to underwrite the property and know how much the property's worth, you're not gonna know rehab costs, you're not gonna know all this stuff. So simply go back and watch episodes 1 through 5 and then practice all that stuff and then start spending money on marketing and then start spending money on leads. And if you do that, that's how you're gonna close a deal. And the best thing you can do with this is set yourself up a game plan, okay? Tell yourself how many dollars you're gonna make every day, how many offers you're gonna give out every day, how many properties you're gonna underwrite every day. Set a game plan and stick to that game plan, okay? If you can make yourself disciplined into calling people every day, practicing your acquisition skills, practicing going through the motions, and practice asking people the condition of their property, going all the way through everything I went over in episode 2. If you guys can practice that and you can go through that and set goals like I'm gonna make $100 every single day, I'm gonna give out 5 offers every single day. If you can practice all of that and keep yourself to those levels and those standards and actually stay disciplined, that's gonna be the best way for you to get into this business, and that's how you're gonna see success. Please, 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 I beg you, if you're getting into this, make a game plan. Start off just calling people, going through the motions, learning the business. That's the best thing you can do. And just show up every single day. That's like, it's not hard, guys. If you wanna change your life, if you wanna make some type of change in your life and get to where you wanna get, and you have all these goals, you have to show up every day. Don't get into this business if you're not gonna show up every day, if you're not gonna put in the time and you're not gonna put in the effort, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna see any results. If you're someone that's just like, I wanna put in an hour a day and I wanna get rich in a month, it's never gonna happen, okay? It's never gonna happen. If you wanna get into this business, show up every single day, put in the work, put in the time, and you'll get rich. You'll get rich like that with any business ever. So if you wanna get rich with this one, that's what you have to do. If you wanna get rich with any other business, that's what you have to do. And also, if you're someone with sales experience, going through this process of learning the business, learning the acquisitions process, going through learning this entire business, people with sales are the best people getting into this business because you know how to talk to sellers, you know how to hit motivation, you know how to do all that stuff. So if you're someone in sales, this business is literally meant for you. So like I've said, beginners should probably spend a month just learning the entire business, talking to sellers, practicing, giving offers. If you're someone coming into this with sales experience, you could probably cut that timeline in half. We work with some high ticket closers that started out high ticket closing. They didn't want to close high ticket anymore because they wanted to actually own their own business, make their own money, and stop just getting cuts of what other guys are making. And the thing is, wholesaling is like one of the most high ticket things you can close for because you're closing on properties, but that's for a different day, different story. But the thing is, the best guys we have worked with are guys that came into this with sales experience, being high ticket closers, pressure washers, all those different types of things, landscape owners, guys like that have sales experience, that have closed sales, all that different stuff. Guys that come into this business like that are always the guys that kill it the best with us and the guys that make the most money with us, because those guys are coming in with so much experience and they actually know what they're doing, and they cut out that beginning timeline, and they simply just don't need as much training, okay? So if you guys are coming into this with sales experience, you don't need as much time. You'll probably need 2 to 3 weeks starting out. If you guys are coming into this with no sales experience, don't be scared. I'm just saying it's gonna take you a little longer to learn in the beginning, just because that's how it is. You don't have any experience yet, and we have to actually teach you everything, or you need to learn everything on your own. So that's how it works. But say if you have sales experience, probably take 2 to 3 weeks, learn everything you need to know, practice a lot, put in a lot of hours. You don't have any sales experience, take 4 to 5 weeks, learn everything you know, talk to a lot of sellers, get a lot of reps in. There you go. Now guys, I know I've been talking a lot, I've been throwing a lot of information at you, I've been saying all these different things about expectations, time you need to put in, okay? So don't get overwhelmed. You guys need to understand, if you wanna make money, if you wanna change your life, you need to be overwhelmed. That's how it works. You guys are learning something completely new, you're getting into something completely new, and you're trying to make money with it. When I first got into this business, I was so overwhelmed, I didn't know where to start, I couldn't sleep, and that's why I'm giving you guys a perfect outline on how to start, episodes 1 through 6. And that's what you guys just need to understand. You're gonna be overwhelmed, and you have to be ready to take that risk when you're getting into a business like this, which is a business that has the opportunity and the value to change your life and actually get you into something that can last you your entire life. Once you get into a business like this and you start closing deals and you start making money, this is something that's gonna last you your entire life. It's the skills of real estate. You all wanna buy a home one day. You all have to live somewhere. Everybody has to live somewhere, okay? You're getting into the best industry in the world. So obviously it's gonna be overwhelming, but this is the best entry point to it, which is wholesaling. But guys, we just went over that. If you're getting into this, I want you to spend the first month or first few weeks learning the entire business, making calls, making mistakes, and just actually talking to people on the phone and giving offers and just learning everything like that, okay? So the first month, you guys simply wanna just learn the business, practice, make calls, all of that stuff. But then after that first month is when the business actually starts to get serious and when it actually starts to get to the point where you can make money, start talking to real leads, and actually get your foot in the door in real estate, making money. But after that first month of learning the entire business, or however long it takes you, once you feel like you are ready and comfortable on the phones and you're comfortable giving offers and you're comfortable talking to sellers and you feel like you get through the entire process with the seller well, this is when you want to start marketing. And guys, with marketing, the cheapest options of marketing are around $700 per month, and that's going to be SMS. And with SMS or whatever marketing method you're using, let's say you're using SMS, for example, $700, you want to always have your marketing budget for 3 months at least, okay? You guys have to run marketing for 3 months at least to get the idea of how that marketing is working. Because guys, with wholesaling, you need to run marketing for a minimum of 3 months to know if it actually works or not. You can't just run SMS for 1 month, be like, I didn't get a deal, it doesn't work. No. Any type of marketing strategy you are using, you want to have 3 months worth of marketing spend ready to go, okay? So if you're doing SMS, you need to have 700 times 3. So $2,100 you need to have prepared for 3 months of marketing spend. Or let's say you guys work a job, you're making $2 grand a month, at least have that money ready every single month to invest into marketing. So every single month, have $700 ready to deploy into marketing, test that for 3 months. If you guys don't close a wholesale deal running marketing for 3 months, you're doing something wrong, and that's when you need to seek out for guidance, okay? Because everyone that we're working with that runs marketing for 3 months is closing deals. That's just simply how it works. That's how the business works. So if you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, you're running the marketing, and you're doing your sales systems right, you're doing your acquisitions right, you're doing your dispo right, you're gonna close a deal, okay? That's how it works. Now, once you guys have marketing running, you need to understand that every single lead you get needs to go in your CRM, okay? So when you start marketing, you need to make sure you have a CRM. And a CRM is somewhere you put your leads, all of that stuff. So inside of that CRM is where you wanna have like your automations, your follow-ups, all your sequences. And if you guys don't know how all that works, you guys can apply to work with us. We set up all of that for you, or you can just look up videos on how to do it. It's pretty intricate, so just make sure you find a good video, make sure you do it all right. Guys, your CRM is very key, okay? So every single lead you get, you never wanna waste a lead. So if you have any leads, you want them to be in your CRM. Let's say you talk to a seller and they say, I'm not interested in selling right now, but I might be interested here in like 2 to 3 weeks. You wanna make sure you put them in a follow-up so you know to follow up with them. Guys, a lot of the best leads are going to be leads that you reach back out to later. You wanna have leads in your pipeline and you wanna nurture them, okay? You wanna make them know that you're still there, you still wanna give them an offer, you still wanna buy their property. You wanna make them feel like someone that is special to you and someone that you actually really wanna buy their property from. Every single lead you get, make sure you put it in your CRM and make sure you put it in a place where you're not going to forget it. So you want to have your follow-ups, you want to have all that different stuff set up inside your CRM so you make sure every single lead doesn't go to waste and you make sure every single lead is used to its fullest potential. And then you also want to nurture these leads so that they know you're there and they know that you still want to give them an offer on their property and they know that you're someone that is actually interested in their property. And that might sound like a lot of work because you're like, Hunter, we're getting so many leads, I can't talk to every single lead, I can't nurture every single lead. And guys, inside of these CRMs, that's where you want to have things like automation set up that'll just automatically send text and automatically do all that stuff so you don't have to do it. And if you guys don't know how to set that up, once you get a CRM, you can look up videos on it, or if you work with me and Dylan, like I've said, we set all that stuff up for you. You don't have to worry about any of it. Now you're running marketing, you have your CRM set up, you have a place for every single lead to go. Because like I said, guys, you need to make sure every lead is tracked meticulously, okay? You want to make sure you know what stage every single lead is in so you know exactly how much money you're spending on marketing and you know you're not wasting any of your marketing money. And now guys, once you have everything set up that I've just gone over, you need to understand the only thing keeping you from your first contract now is time, okay? Like I said, 3 months worth of marketing spend. You want to run your marketing, don't give up, keep putting in effort, because the only thing keeping you from your first contract is time, okay? This isn't something where you're going to start marketing and you're going to get your first deal in a few days, okay? You need to start marketing, have your processes going, have your nurtures going, have your follow-ups going, make sure all your leads are going to where they need to go in your CRM, and that's how you're going to close the first deal. And the only thing keeping you from your first contract and your first deal is simply time. Go up every day, stay organized, and keep investing your time and keep investing your money into your marketing. And guys, you're going to get your first contract. You're going to close your first deal. If you stay disciplined, you stay organized, you show up every day, and you keep investing your time, your energy, and your money into your marketing, you're gonna close your first deal. I've seen it happen a million times. Everyone that I work with that does these things closes their first deal and makes money. And that's how with all the guys that me and Dylan work with, we literally guarantee them to close a wholesale deal in a certain amount of time because we have this business down to a science, okay? We know if you do this, this, and this, and you do it the exact ways that me and Dylan say to do it, and everything that I've laid out in this video, if you do this and you do it for the right amount of time and you stick at it and you stay disciplined and you actually put the work in and you run the marketing, you're going to close a deal. This business is a science. It's something that isn't difficult. It's really just, it takes the right person and it takes a little bit of money, some capital to invest into it, run the marketing, and then stay disciplined and actually work, and you close a deal. That's how this business works, and people overcomplicate it. But a lot of people try and get into it for free, even they think it's hard because they can't close a deal. And then a lot of people try and spend money on marketing, but they don't have enough budget to run it for the right amount of time, or they don't have the correct guidance and they just lock deals up too high and do all that stuff. And everybody thinks this business is super hard and super complicated, but guys, it's not. This business is easy, okay? Only thing this business takes is information and some money. That's all it takes to start closing deals and making a lot more money than what you invested. If you invest $2,100 in marketing, okay, $700 a month for 3 months, you run your marketing for the 3 months, you do everything right, you close a deal. The average deal size is around 14 grand. That's a 7x return on your money. Most businesses are not giving you those returns, as well as you're getting a 7x return on your money, and you're learning the entire skill of real estate, and you're also owning your own business, guys. Wholesaling is a business. There's guys out there doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in profit with wholesaling. We're doing over 6 figures a month with wholesaling. Guys, this is a business, okay? And once you start making money with wholesaling, okay, the business of wholesaling, right? You're finding a seller, you're getting that seller in connect to the buyer, you're making the money in between, the investor gets their deal, the seller gets their money, okay? Guys, once you start making money with this business, building up capital, knowing the entire business, the seller's here, you're here, the investor's here, you cut the investor out of the picture, okay? That's what I do. You find the seller, you get the deal at a great price, and then you just flip it yourself. So then you're getting all your flips super deep, and that's how you make over $100,000 off of a deal, because you're getting your flip at the assignment price. So you're getting like 20 to 30 grand cheaper than the investor would get it, and then you're flipping it yourself, and you're making all that money, okay? And then you start doing that over and over and over again, and that's how you're gonna change your life. And that's how I made all this money at 20 years old, by actually learning these processes and realizing how easy it really is to do this. And this is a cheat code in the market, and this is the best industry to be in, real estate. Now guys, like I've gone over in this video, once you spend the first month learning the business and then you start running your marketing for a minimum of 3 months, you guys are gonna get your first wholesale deal, okay? And once you get your first wholesale deal, once you get your first contract, you're going to simply wanna get into the disposition part of the business, which I went fully over in episode 4 of this series. So if you guys wanna learn all about how to dispo deal, how to find a buyer for your deal, that's gonna be in episode 4. But guys, it's very simple, okay? The best way to do it for beginners for free is just to go post your deal on Facebook groups, make a deal sheet, do all that. That's the best way to do it. Or if you guys can't find a buyer for your deal and you're stressing, you can always reach out to me or reach out to Dylan, and we can just JV and we can find a buyer for you. We have this software called Investor Lift, which is like pretty expensive. Beginners can't afford it, obviously. It's an expensive thing. If you guys can't find a buyer, you can always just reach out to someone at JV. Like I said, reach out to us, let us know. We'll find a buyer for you instantly. If it's actually a good deal and you didn't get it locked up too high, we'll instantly find a buyer for you. And all the guys inside of our program have exclusive access to Investor Lift through me and Dylan, where they get their deals sold to buyers. And if it's a good deal and we put on Investor Lift for you and you're inside the program, we're really gonna have buyers fighting over your deal, because Investor Lift just connects you to every single buyer across the country. It's the best way to display your deals by far, 100%. Now guys, we're coming to the end of this video, and you need to understand there's tremendous upside in this business. But guys, with anything that has tremendous upside, there's also risk. So you guys have to take the risk, invest in yourself, and get into a business like this. And that's how you're gonna see the results that you wanna see, and that's how you're gonna change your life. Anything that has tremendous results has a risk involved. The only thing is you want to make sure you're taking a calculated risk. And by watching this video, you guys have learned everything you need to know about the business. If you've watched episodes 1 through 6, which is this episode, you guys know everything you need to know. So now just take the risk. You guys know everything you need to know. You know where to start. Take the risk, invest in yourself, get into the business, and close your first deal. You know what you need to do. And if you guys want to change your life, anything that has tremendous upside has a lot of risk. I'm saying it one more time because it's the truth. And once I learned that is when I changed my life. I'll tell you guys right now, I didn't get in the position I am right now, making over 6 figures per month at 20 by not taking any risks. I've risked all the money I've had to my name multiple times. I've risked relationships. I've risked everything, okay? Like I said, I was in college when I made all this stuff start happening. So you guys gotta understand, you gotta take a risk. And if you don't wanna take a risk, simply don't try and get into a business. Go work for somebody, because no one that owns businesses haven't taken a risk. You have to take a risk. It's that simple. And if you're not willing to take risks, you got to go the normal route. You got to go get a job and do all that stuff, because that's all you're going to get to without taking risks. And guys, before I end off this video, you also need to understand that nothing in life is get rich quick, okay? Nothing in life you're going to make more than $10,000 per month consistently in under 2 months, okay? Don't expect to get into a business and only put 2 months of work in and expect you'd be making $10,000 per month, okay? If it was that easy, everyone would do it, okay? Nothing in life is some get rich quick thing. The reason that people are rich and people aren't rich is because people are out there putting in the time and the effort without seeing any results for a decent amount of time and risking money and investing in themselves until the point where most people quit. Even the people that make a lot of money are the guys that stick at it, keep going, and don't quit. So don't expect to get rich quick. Don't expect to, put a month in and I'm gonna put a month in, I'm gonna make all this money. No, okay? You gotta put time in, you gotta put effort in, you gotta actually work, you gotta be disciplined, and that's how you're gonna make money, okay? So guys, don't get into this business expecting to get rich quick. That's not how stuff like this works, and anyone that's telling you other so is simply lying to you. You have to learn the raw skills, you have to learn the marketing, you have to learn the sales, you have to learn every part of being a business owner, and once you learn all of that, that's when you're gonna make a lot of money, that's when you're gonna scale, and that's when you're actually gonna change your life. But it's not some get rich quick scheme. You have to learn all these things, and then that's how you get to the level where you're making a lot of money, and you're actually getting to the point where you're like, oh shit, my life is changing. All right, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this series, episodes 1 through 6, teaching you guys exactly how to close your first wholesale deal. And like I've said, guys, throughout this series, if you are interested in working with me and Dylan, where we build your entire wholesale business for you, coach you fully one-to-one, no course, none of that stuff, guys. We don't sell one of those. We've both been scammed by courses in the past, so that's not what we're selling. It's an entire done-for-you process. We build the business for you. We hold your hand side by side. We teach you everything you need to know, and we guarantee you a wholesale deal in under 90 days. If you guys want to be a part of that, if that's something you're interested in, there's a link down below to apply to work with us. We're only working with a limited amount of guys because obviously me and Dylan run real estate businesses for most of our day. We can only allocate so much of our personal time to people that are getting into this with us. So we only work with a limited amount of people at once. We don't work with unlimited people. That's what most of these guys do. And that's why a lot of these course gurus just send you a bunch of videos, because they don't have time to work one-on-one with everybody. But with us, we work one-on-one with everybody. We build the business for you. We set up the business for you. We teach you how to run the entire business, and we actually get you closing deals. So if that's something you're interested in, I have a link down below for that. If you guys haven't watched this entire series and you want to get into wholesale real estate, make sure you guys go back, watch episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because that's how you're gonna learn how to close your first deal on your own if you don't want to work with us. And also, guys, if you have any questions, I have my business Instagram link down below at HunnaREI. You guys can DM me on there, ask me any questions you might have. And if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, drop a sub. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.